Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I had to take a quick break and get something to drink. I'm doing a lot of reading of poetry here, so I thought I'd get my poet glass and drink some water to make you think that it was some sort of wine, but it's not. Really. I couldn't, I can't. I need to have my vocal cords in order so I can read to you more poetry. Wonderful. I apologize for everybody that is in watching the Facebook live feeds that everything has to be backwards for this. I think that stinks. That is why at the same time I am also reading to a video camera so that I'll be able to put these videos up later and they will be horizontal and they will not be backwards so that everybody can see it. Also in Corona times I thought we don't get the chance to even be able to go out and go to an art gallery. This is why behind me here, thunk, I've got a small little rotating canvas that is showing some pieces of artwork that I was able to find from different art galleries. And I've got everything from Picasso to Manet, Monet, Renoir, older pieces, Edvard Munch, to newer pieces for Picasso, Dali, Pollock. I've got some Pollock and Lee Krasner and just a variety of things, and they're sorted by title, and I just figured if we don't get to see art, maybe I can put some in a frame back here rotating for you at the same time, if books aren't enough with the library space. I thought I would read to you 3 pieces maybe from the 2019 Scars Publications Poetry and Flash Fiction and Art Collection book called Burning Bridges. Burning Bridges. This book is a photo of the Kinsua Bridge in Pennsylvania. It's this massive, massive bridge that a fire, a storm, I don't remember, knocked the bridge down, and they were going to just tear it down, and they said, wait a minute, maybe we should just leave it up and be like a memorial, and so I was able to see it for that reason. There's a poem about jumping from this bridge in this book as well, which I'm not going to share with you guys, so I'm not going to get y'all down with that one, but I thought I'd share with you a haiku and maybe a piece of editorial and a piece of prose. Some things are really, really tiny, and that'll just give you a taste of what's in this book. As I said, it has things from the 2 Literary Magazine, CC&D Magazine, and Down the Dirt Magazine. Hi again, by the way, to anybody who is watching, because that makes be thrilled that you're a part of things, because this is for the Poetic License Open Mic, and I will be here reading until the ending time for this open mic is from 3:30 to 5:30 on the first Sunday of the month. And I hope that other people are posting things on the Facebook event page for that open mic as well, because everyone is welcome to. It's public for anybody to post anything. In the meantime, I'm going to read a haiku that appears at the end of a piece of prose within this book. And the piece is called After. And it also actually happens to have an Instagram image, which, you know, you're not going to really be able to see or read, and I have to show it to the camera as well. But it's to prove that we try to get on as many different mediums and as many forums as possible. This is called After. After poverty, I'll fight abuse, destruction. Let me now stand tall. I think I'm not going to read poetry. I'm going to share with you an editorial piece that appears in this book that I had written, that it was suggested to me to share, and I've shared it at open mics before, and I would do it with Tom Woodruff, who is a world poet from Australia, who is now also a resident in Austin, Texas, and he would come to his open mics and he'd bring like 8 pairs of these reading glasses, and they'd be different colors, and I'd put on one, I'd try it on, he'd like, what do you think? And I wouldn't put it on all the way up because I cannot see through them. But in homage to Tom having those things, and I don't get to see Tom right now, I thought I would try to bum a pair of reading glasses from my husband and keep them low on my nose so I can still see you, and read a piece or two from this. This first one is an editorial essay piece called Weighing on My Soul. I worked as an acquaintance rape workshop facilitator a number of years ago, and periodically after the fact I would get phone calls or messages from people who knew the earlier work that I did to either console people or to give guidance or to other women. And over the years I would hear terrible stories, all third hand, but knowing they were real puts a little weight on my shoulders too, weighing on my soul too, hearing so many stories over and over again. I told my husband that I recently got a letter from a woman who I knew years ago, back when I worked at the university acquaintance rape education group, and the woman tried to feel better years later after being raped by a man whom she was dating. After everything she learned because of this rape and her fight to overcome it, it had ended up making her a better person. When I explained this to him, he told me that I should publish this letter. I didn't want to do that to the women. I didn't think it was a good idea, but he explained to me that there may be women out there who want to hear that they can be strong again, and this letter may be the impetus they need. I told them that if I did this, I wouldn't reveal the woman's name who wrote this, and I do this now, not only in an attempt to protect her privacy, but to also make it clear that every woman can feel this. I got in touch with her, and she said it was okay as long as I left out any information about her in it. So I hope this helps. Dear Janet, hi there. I know it's been forever since we've talked, but I remembered you back at U of I doing acquaintance rape flyers and ads and workshops, so I hope you don't mind my writing this to you. I couldn't think of anyone else I could share this with, though. Something occurred to me the evening of the anniversary of the day I was raped. Yes, I remember it. How could I forget it? It's been years, and I've grown a lot since that night. I could talk about how I was young then. I could talk about how I didn't know how to stop what was happening, but that would just be more victim blaming, wouldn't it? What I did want to say is that for the first time in years on this day, I wasn't angry. All I could think is that even though what I went through was terrible, even though I spent years crying about what happened to me, it occurred to me that if it didn't happen to me, if it didn't force me to learn about sexism so firsthand back then I might not have worked as hard in my life to be as strong as I am now. I'm not saying I'm glad this happened to me, far from it. But if I remove all of the bad elements in my past, I might have ended up becoming a different person from who I am today. I believe that I have gained strength from the battles I've had to fight because of this. And the first time after all of the anniversaries of this rape that haunted me, I have to say this bad thing helped me grow. I might not like who I was today if I didn't have this terrible thing happen to me to change the way I think. I don't know if what I'm writing makes sense. For some reason, though, I wanted to share it with you. It's so easy to dwell on rape because the memories are so powerful and consuming. For many years, so many years you go through this. And as I said before, if I remove that from my past, I unravel the tapestry of who I am. If I like who I have become, removing that might make me someone I wouldn't recognize and someone I'd rather not be. I read that at an open mic, that I'd gotten this letter and that was said to me, and it's a different thing when you hear so many things, because I have worked as she was saying, as an acquaintance rape workshop facilitator, and people would call me years later, I remember you did this, well, my wife was attacked, or my best friend would come to me and is like, oh, I've got 2 black eyes because some guy just said that I raped his girlfriend, and he was probably right. And you'd hear all of these stories, and you hear these bad things, and having somebody shared that they're actually think that they might be stronger because they've had to successfully battle and they're a better person now for it. I mean, that doesn't mean you are, as they were saying, it's not like whatever they say. I'm not saying that I'm glad this happened to me, far from it, as it says in this letter. That's not the point. The point is that you learn from your battles, and hopefully you're a stronger person for it. And if you can make it through that, you'll be surprised at how strong you are. I hope. And I hope that helps people. But I'm going to end with this tiny little piece of prose in the back of this book. The last page of the book, actually. And it's called Dandelions for a Passing Stranger. I loved my silly red tricycle, the type that every suburban 3-year-old probably had. I would play my driveway, riding past the evergreens, past the white mailbox, but I'd usually turn around before I got past the gravel and onto the neighbor's driveway and ride back toward the security of my own garage. I would sometimes play on the neighbor's driveway since it was on a hill, and I would scale to the top of their maroon-colored garage, navigate my trusted tricycle around its trusted handlebars, hop on the seat, and then just zoom downhill. But those times were only when I thought no one was at home at that house, and for when I was feeling particularly adventuresome. Once I was riding up and down my own driveway and I saw another little girl walking on the neighbor's yard. I watched her approach my driveway, walking on the edge of our lawn. I was fascinated by this girl. There was a new face to look at, a girl with long blonde hair, so different from my own. She came from the lawn behind my house and was walking along the side of my driveway, away from my home. I just watched her walk. When she passed me, I looked over to the neighbor's yard. Our lawn was full of green grass. Theirs was full of dandelions. I rode over to the side of my driveway, got off my tricycle, hopped over the ledge, and ran to the neighbor's lawn. I picked a dandelion. I quickly ran back to my tricycle. It patiently waited there for me just where I left it. I pedaled fiercely to the end of my driveway and caught up with that little girl. Still sitting in my tricycle, I looked up at her until she stopped, walking right in front of me. I held up a dandelion to her. Cute little story to end the book that is called Burning Bridges. It's a collection book from Scars Publications. I just shared with you a couple pieces from it, and thank you for listening. And I think I am going to stop this live feed, but then I'm going to start it up again with another book for you guys. I hope you were enjoying this. I hope you are enjoying Poetic License, a poetry open mic that goes on every first Sunday of the month. And it is from 3:30 to 5:30 in the afternoon, Central Standard Time, at normally Recycled Reads Bookstore, which is why I am in quarantine zone and I've got books all around me. I hope you are enjoying it. There is a Facebook events page, so if you wanted to post any of your own writing or audio clips or video clips up, it is open for anyone to post up and share their material as well. And I will be back in just a few with material from a new book for you guys. Thank you all so very much, and continue staying poetic.